what I've done here is I've taken a syringe, filled it up with liquid, with just water with red food coloring so you can see the difference as you fill it. Drilled 2 holes in a piece of plexiglass that I bolted over the top of the head, upside down, spark plug in, so I could measure the volume of this compression chamber portion of the head. The reason for 2 holes here is that
you need to be able to relieve the air pockets as you fill this up.
One I use to fill with, one I use for an air pocket relief on the other side.
I did a good job actually getting it flat, so
the air pocket stays nearly in the middle, and you can just literally like put your hand on and tilt this in order to get the air pocket to migrate towards one of the holes. As you squeeze in the last half a milliliter or cubic centimeter of your fluid, and this held 51 cubic centimeters or 51 milliliters exactly. I actually just grabbed this little plastic syringe from a pet supply store. It's actually pretty accurate. So cylinder number 4, technically, the middle cylinder on the driver's side, holds 51 milliliters or cubic centimeters, and I believe the other one was 51 as well. Actually, look at that.
interesting.
So that must be fairly accurate. The real question I had was
Whether or not they take into account
the cylinder, I'm sorry, the spark plug. As you can see, the spark plug is in there.
right here.
This is the intake valve, this is the exhaust valve. And the other good thing to note is that these don't appear to be leaking, which
This engine technically should only have about 50,000 miles on it, but you never know. I may actually do a valve job anyway, or just lap the valves.
this one I just did and filled and tested. That was 51. I drained it because I had forgotten to put the spark plugs in these 2, and kind of wanted to start over. And there was a little bit of leakage on the exhaust valve on cylinder number 2, the driver's side of this engine, first cylinder towards the front. So we'll go ahead and do this last one. Actually, that's interesting. I'm just noting an air bubble
Showing up there, which does indicate there's probably some minor leakage there. Last time it was over here.
or it could just be settling of the plexiglass itself, but we'll watch that and see what happens. Nonetheless, this set of heads here, or this particular one here, this is off a Japanese domestic market engine that I bought, low mileage. This is one that came out of the red 00 Xterra with about 150,000 miles on it. All 3 of the sets of valves had slight leakage, and I noticed there was some pitting on the valve faces themselves when I actually cleaned them up, so that's probably going to require a valve job as well to get it perfectly sealed. I've not done this one obviously, but let's move on to the cylinder number 6, the backside cylinder on the driver's side of this, and see what we get. This is cylinder number 6, backside cylinder on the driver's side, and it took exactly 51 also. So, and this little air bubble doesn't look like it's progressed any further.
So that just could have been an anomaly with the plexiglass settling.
So no air bubble here. We'll give that a few minutes and see what happens. But that took exactly 51 on both those. I'm going to redo this one just out of curiosity to see if I hit 51 again. I think I did. Yeah, okay. I'll see if the valve leaks again.
After a couple of hours, or I'll even leave this overnight and see.
That may be, if it doesn't, it may not need to do any lapping on these valves.
Then we can move on to the next head.
All right, let's see what happens in this one.
See if I can give you an idea here.
How this works. Just squeezing this in. All right, I'm gonna pull in 14 mils.
14 milliliters. Milliliters is the same thing as cubic centimeters. It's a 1-for-1 ratio.
Using the proper bottom of the meniscus. And I will squeeze it in.
Okay.
Pull in another 14. Doesn't really probably have to be this precise. It's just kind of who I am. 14. So this will be a total of 42.
And on the last one, I'll usually just pull in 11. Just so I don't push all of the liquid out of the syringe and I can see about 2 cc's left over in there. Oh, see how that filled that in? That's why the plexiglass is necessary.
And you can see the air bubble starting to close up towards this side. Start filling back in over here because I don't want to suck it back in as I let off on
My thumb.
So now I'll just pull in 11 this time. So in theory, I should have about 2 left in there when I'm done. 2 is easier to read than 1 on this device. And that's why I'm using 11.
I'm expecting about 9 more.
Total of about 51 cc's or milliliters is what this is taking. Mark on our page, 11 mils. Watch as the air bubble closes up.
This usually takes you right up to the end here. And if you're not careful,
You'll actually squeeze it through these holes. See that coming, bulge it out up there. So what we have to do is stop and just slightly tilt this to get our air bubble position right back there at the top.
and we can proceed and slowly squeeze so I don't push the liquid out the back hole.
Again.
Adjust your air bubble. Alright, that thing's full. So now we look on here.
We're showing 3 left, so we only got 8 in that one, which is really interesting because this is 42 plus 8 is 50. It's very interesting that this actually
Only took
50, but I'm more kind of curious if these are going to leak. So we'll keep an eye on those.